What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I wanted to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY and a couple of other tickers. I'm also going to break down why Tesla's a little bit lackluster right now, as we had some negative news that just came out. So I'm going to break down what this news is, why it's still affecting Tesla, what you should be watching for as time progresses. But before I get the devil's information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below in the description. If you sign up for Moon, deposit $100, you're guaranteed 7 free stocks, and the offer ends very soon in just about 8 days. Anyways, for Tesla, instead of holding above our 20 EMA, which is currently at 176.5, Tesla's a little bit lackluster, actually kind of, continuing to sink, and we're approaching some key supports. So the question is, why is Tesla a little bit lackluster compared to SPY and the QQQ? And that's just because we had some negative news. Some new news came out. This headline came out about 45 minutes ago. And basically, it's telling us that Tesla is scrambling to repair its reputation with rental companies after price cuts and poor service, according to reports. This is very, very important right now because of the fact that we're starting to see a lot more negative sentiment about Tesla because of this news. What's been happening is Tesla had a lot of price cuts for the last couple of months. And with these price cuts, it's been feeding into their margins. Well, what's been happening is with all of this coming out, despite these price cuts and such, it's still not really kind of like helping a lot of these rental companies. They were continuing to buy up a lot of Teslas in the past, before the cuts, even like during them. But with all these expenses that are adding up when it comes to repairs and such, it's still making things a little bit more difficult for them. And one of the issues is that for a lot of these EV fleets, which bought up a lot of them, there's been a lot of devaluation for the prices of these EVs, and that's actually hurt a lot of these rental companies right over here. So this has made a lot of them offloading the electric models at decent prices much harder for rental companies, and they're complaining about poor services and expensive repairs. So there's been a lot of talk about that. Uh, it's actually making a lot of headlines right now. There's also been a lot of headlines talking about how Tesla's now going to try to offset this with some more discounts. So Tesla's trying to offer a lot more discounts to more EV companies, more leasing companies, especially in European countries. And that's actually what's leading to more and more criticism for them, because to offset this, it's just been discount after discount after discount. There's more reports right over here I found that are saying that Tesla's offering more discounts to soothe many of these leasing firms, and this could be as much as about $2,000 on the Model 3 and Model Y. That's over 2,000 euros or 2,100 USD. And they've been doing this for quite some time. They're going to continue with these discounts. That's what I'm seeing a lot of headlines saying. So they're going to extend them. They're now going to be available for year round. It says it right over here. And this is not the best of news. It's kind of feeding into their margins, and more price cuts are still available to some of these companies. So that's just not the best of news for Tesla. Could it be because of soft demand? It's also because they're trying to offset some of the higher expenditures, trying to kind of incentivize them to buy more. So that's a little bit negative. That's part of why Tesla's actually a little bit lackluster right now, despite the fact that SPY and the QQ have been pumping. There's also been a lot of talk about how the new expansion in Germany, through Giga Berlin, is still very divisive. So that's still making a lot of headlines about how more protesters are threatening to continue to protest, and lists like this are just continuing. So, all this stuff has been going on with things like this that are happening. As part of why Tesla is actually a little bit lackluster, at least at the moment. So, what do I see for the share price now with all this negative news to be accounted for? Tesla's resistance is currently at 175.89. This is our 50 EMA, which is where we rejected from. Our support is the strong support is 172. That's the most important support at the moment. There's a little bit of a trend, a little trend line that could be drawn out like this. So if we take the low from like right over here, you guys could see that Tesla has been trying to hold this support right over here. This is our trend line that Tesla's trying to maintain. If we were to lose this trend line of support, we're going to be coming down to 172. If that fails us, we're going to be coming down to 168 for the more bearish target. As of right now, Tesla's trying to hold the trend line. That's why it's in the 174 area. So we'll be watching. Tesla's very sandwiched right now. We have this resistance at our 50 EMA at 175.8. We have support at the 174s. This is this trend line. Lose this, and Tesla will be dipping all the way down to 172. So just be very careful. Tesla had some negative news. It's getting in the way of the bullish technicals that we saw. So we'll see if Tesla maintains the uptrend or not. Lose this, and Tesla is going to be dipping. So watch for it. Tesla is looking a little bit lackluster. We're down about 1.5%, despite the fact that SPY is up. So I'll be watching that very carefully. So I want to give you guys a warning about this intraday. I know that Tesla had some nice signals, technically speaking, during the pre-market, but this bad news got in the way, and there's not really a whole lot we can do about that. So it is what it is, guys. I'm still a big bull long-term for Tesla, but short-term, sometimes things like this happen. Now for SPY, I called out in front of everyone that we're going to see a push in the share price of SPY, and that's what's happened so far. We're approaching the all-time high. Watch this very carefully, okay? Are we going to break the all-time high and continue to pump with the Fed speakers like this? Are we about to do this? Or are we about to get a big rejection, kind of pump like that, end up coming back down like this? We'll be watching this very carefully just to see what the trend ends up causing. We're approaching some tough resistance on SPY, so watch. Is this going to be a cup and handle? Are we about to break it? As of right now, at the time I'm recording this, technicals look more bullish than bearish. They do favor bulls right now, but wait and see if we get this break. Will we break the all-time high or not? I will wait and see. Technicals, as of right now, look a little bit more bullish, but watch to see if we break the high. For NVIDIA, I said that NVIDIA might actually dip a bit and try to bounce. We dipped a little bit right here towards our 50 EMA to 933. Now we're trying to bounce. So it didn't get much of a dip, but it's now just trying to favor a bounce. So watch this 950 resistance. Break that, and our next level is going to be 955 to 958. And we have support at 944. The overall chart is more bullish in my personal opinion. So I do favor upside a bit more for NVIDIA. The QQQ is also pushing. So we talked about the two possibilities on the QQQ right here. I told you that it's going to test this resistance right here in this 453 to 454 area. Break that, and we're going to be looking at 455.5. Reject. If we come short, or if we even we could even push up to test the all-time high, then reject. If we get a rejection, we're going to be dipping back down to 450. As of right now, the chart is looking more bullish and does favor a little push to the upside. So that looks a bit more probable in my personal opinion. Apple's a runner. I told you guys to watch the range on Apple for break 190.5 or bullish. If we lose 189, look for 188. And the chart's favoring the upside for 192 and 192.5. So overall, Apple is more bullish. We got a runner today after bullish news came out. Great news for Apple. Good for them moving forward. Amazon's trying to rebound. Watch 185.5. It's just kind of shuffling around that area. We have resistance at 187. We have support at 183. But overall, the trend looks a bit more bullish. For Meta, we're just trading kind of sideways. We have resistance at 472.5, and then we have 469 as support. We're still trading sideways in this range, so we'll see which way Meta breaks for a much bigger move. Otherwise, we're still kind of stuck. GME is down 5% to 21. We're actually approaching that 17 area, whereas AMC is up about 2%, but it's still not looking that strong to me as it's at resistance. So we'll just have to see how things go. Anyways, guys, it is what it is, guys. Unfortunately, Tesla had some bad news. It's very lackluster, so it is what it is. We just have to accept the reality of the situation and be very, very patient from where we are. SPY and the QQQ and NVIDIA are pushing very nicely. We're approaching all-time highs, especially for SPY and the QQQ. We'll have to see how they react, whereas Tesla is relatively weak because of some bad news and other catalysts like that. So for now, watch the levels and we'll see how things go. Until I see you guys in a couple of hours, thank you for listening and peace out.